Welcome, I'm Joshua Silverstein.
And I'm Evelyn Rudy.
And this is Santa Monica on Stage, where we talk to the people and venues that make the city of Santa Monica the cultural destination for the performing arts.
We've got magic to do just for you. Magicopolis is here, and pardon the pun, but they might have a few tricks up their sleeves.
I love magic! Then we're spending some time with Virginia Avenue Project, a group that, like me, works to help young people through theater.
Fantastic. Let's get started.
Yay!
Since 1998, our next guests have been at the helm of Magicopolis, a fantastical name for a fantastical theater experience right here in Santa Monica. Their current show, Escape Reality, is full of comedy, magic, music, and illusions. Steve Spill and Bozina Robel, we're so glad to have you back.
Thanks for having us. Good to see you guys again. And you look so much different today. Is it a haircut?
Well, it's a haircut, and I've lost some color, or gained some color, so, you know, we're doing good.
It's pretty good.
Nicely done, yeah.
I've
I'm
always
Phil.
been curious.
Yes. Evelyn, we saw you. I know it's about us, but it's a little about you.
It is now.
It is now. We saw you in Raise Me Up
You were
a few months
brilliant.
ago.
You did a great
No,
job.
seriously.
And-
The
seriously.
whole production was impossibly great.
Well, thank you
It
very
was a great
much.
piece of theater, and you were so funny last time. And then in a play, it was just like serious and different. I just enjoyed so much.
Thank
just
you
wanted
so
to. I
much.
couldn't wait to tell you.
Well,
It's,
and I
Her
will tell you,
performance
I've
was
seen
magic.
your performances, and they are magical. He stole my joke.
Sorry, I'm
No,
no.
but it was great that you guys do such a beautiful theater.
Thank
that you
The
can go
direction
and-
was particularly good too. We liked the way that the sets changed. Everyone knew which chair to grab.
Yeah.
Please,
No,
you
I'm just
told me
teasing.
now,
No,
but
no, we met Chris.
And
We
it was,
did a
it was
great job
original
with that.
play, right?
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
fantastic. Just only
Yes.
want to tell that I really love and your work. Ha.
And Joshua, had you been in it,
I
I
was
know
in the
you would have
play.
been good.
This is
I
the thing,
could see
I
that,
was
right?
in the play. I was disappointed that no one. I'm sad now.
I am curious. I am very curious. I've been in my profession since I was 3 years old, but magic is really a man's profession, or let's say it always has been. Whenever you see a famous magician,
They're always
it's
men.
always a man.
Yeah.
So, but you are a magician. You are not a magician's assistant. So how did you get started? How did you get into all of that?
Great question.
I'd be curious to know too.
Me too.
That's three of us.
Whoa. I actually always wanted to be a magician, but in communist Poland, people weren't interested in magic. They liked things they could touch, like food and heat. So everybody loved Hollywood movies. So I decided to become a famous international movie star.
Awesome.
Awesome. And as a working actress in Warsaw, I finally got the chance to work in some American films, shooting on location in Poland, in Warsaw. And I was very lucky, and I started to get many roles. First, it was Olga, the Russian spy.
Okay.
Then that was Anya, the Polish spy. And my biggest role, Helga, the German scientist, who was also a spy.
Nice.
That is a lot of spies.
So no
A lot of
typecasting at all.
spies, yes.
Great, great.
The problem was I didn't speak any English at all, but it didn't really matter because the dialogue was always the same. Sort of like, I've got the microfilm, I need the microfilm. And Helga had the coolest line, I know the code to the bomb and I have the microfilm.
Hollywood's great, isn't it?
Yeah, Hollywood is great. So I felt like, well, I was a veteran of American films and it's time to go to America. So I arrived in New York. It was dark, I didn't know my way around.
Tell them what you brought with you.
Yeah. So, but I had a little sexy dress and a suitcase full of glossy headshots. So I was like, I'm ready for my close-up. And Evelyn, I got some parts. This time it was in vampires movies.
Right.
And the line a little bit changed. Now I was saying sort of like, I want to suck your blood. So
And take your microfilm.
Yes, exactly. And take your microfilm, and I know the code to the bomb. Okay.
Right.
So I decided, this is enough. I really have to learn English and be an American performer. But I didn't have much money. So first I tried to learn English by watching TV.
Right.
And then I found out I was watching the Spanish channel. But like, how was I supposed to know? Everybody in my neighborhood understood me.
Right.
It's I know, El Gato es muy grande. You
Right.
know,
I
it's
heard
a
cats.
cat.
Yeah,
Something,
big cat.
big
The
cat.
big
Yeah,
cat.
right.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's good.
No, but then, okay, so then I decided to really take English classes. And my English teacher insisted that we read newspaper every day. And that
Okay.
was even more difficult and confusing because I remember I first opened an American newspaper and I saw a big ad for Victoria's Secret.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, right, right. And it said,
You
big-
saw that ad
I
too,
saw
didn't you
that.
guys?
Oh.
That's where I shop a
I'm
lot of the time.
envisioning him in fishnet briefs
Well,
as we speak.
It's ironic because, well, but keep going.
That's right.
So anyway,
Halloween's behind us.
I saw this big ad for Victoria's Secret and I remember it said, big sale last week.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like, why advertise?
Why, yeah.
I already missed it.
Right. That's so
Yeah,
unfortunate. It's mean.
Yeah, they're just rubbing it in.
Yeah.
But anyway, the teacher insisted, you guys have to read newspaper every day before the class. So I remember I was on a subway, right? It's crowded, and I'm trying to read this newspaper, and it's crowded. So I decided to make a little bit more space, you know, for everybody, right?
Okay.
So for the other people and me, and it was a good idea, I thought, to make a paper a little bit smaller,
Okay.
right? So it would be more comfortable. Actually, I think the best size would be like this, right?
Well, now you
Sort
can't
of like
You
a
can still
little-
read the ads, right?
Yes,
I mean,
I
there's
can
a little bit
still
kind of
read
piece
the
by
ads,
piece. Yeah.
but that is a little. Oh, this is really.
This is like the Charles Atlas Samson
yeah,
tearing
this
that
is
from the
really
side.
good. So
Tearing
that
the
was,
words.
but that was like comfortable, right, for the people and for
It
me.
was very
But
crowded
then
in
when
there.
I exited the subway, I wanted my full size newspaper, and I got it.
Unbelievable!
Yes.
Nicely done.
But
That
the,
was
but the point is that I was thinking, why should I look for some vampire's parts or other parts?
When you are a vampire.
I am a magician.
Right.
no, she's
So
not a
there you go.
vampire.
It happened to me, and you know, naturally.
That's awesome. And you are the forerunner for women everywhere who want to be
Absolutely.
magicians.
That's right. She's a
I want to be a woman
prestidigitator.
magician now.
Do you guys know what is
I-
prestidigitator? Some people don't.
Yeah,
See a
explain, you know, like,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
can
the
take it-
people at home, you can
Yeah, but
explain.
some,
Yeah.
you know, I ask, and a lot of people don't know, like before the magic show. But
Give
I
'em a
always,
definition.
Okay,
They can
we
break it
take,
down.
We can take it by syllables.
Okay.
Prestidigitated. Pressed means mashed. Digit is a finger or a toe, and tater is how they call potato down south.
That's right. Yeah.
So
potatoes.
prestidigitator is somebody from the south who
eats
mashes
potatoes.
potatoes with his fingers and toes.
Now we see
Educational.
so much about you, Bozina.
And entertaining. It was
Sorry.
very, very good. Yeah.
And now we have to find out something more about you, too.
Oh, come
Your
on.
magic.
Let's focus on Bozina.
For right now,
Yeah.
we're going to thank you, Bozina and Steve. They have got so much to show us. We're cutting the chat and getting right to the magic. Stay tuned.
I thought I had everything under control. Then, one day, something happened. I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't know there was help. Until someone told me.
Providing access to justice, the Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles can help with domestic violence issues, eviction defense, government benefits, immigration, and other civil legal issues.
And now from Magicopolis, let's welcome Steve Spill.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I was 12 years old and obsessed with doing card tricks. The problem is I'm not very good. And the only way I could get good is by doing a bunch of shows. My neighbor tells me there's a talent show every Sunday in Topanga Canyon at the Theatricum Botanicum. I call up, I say, I'm 12 years old, I do card tricks. The guy says, not interested, hangs up. My neighbor tells me if they think a couple people might come see you do the show, maybe they'll put you on. So at my request, friends start calling, going, hey, when's Magic Steve going to be appearing? The guy gets pestered and worn down. He gives me an audition. I hitchhike up to Topanga. The Theatricum Botanicum is an outdoor wooden stage eaten by woodpeckers. It's surrounded by a jungle of plants and trees. I'm kind of soaking up the vibe. Oh my gosh, what an idiot I am. I left my deck of cards in the car that picked me up hitchhiking, and this is going to be my first and worst audition ever. Also waiting to audition is an angry poet and a folk singer. This was around 1967. There was a lot of angry poets and folk singers. They say if you remember the 60s, you weren't there. I was there, Peace, Love, Band, The Bomb. So I am waiting for my turn. I decide I'm going to do a card trick with some leaves that I've picked up. My hands were small. The leaves were big. I had 1, 2, 3 leaves. I take away 1 leaf. I snap my fingers. Miraculously, I still have 1, 2, 3 leaves. The theater director jumps up, pumps his fist into the air and screams, "Right on, dude." That's dude. "Right on, dude." So I start to explain, you know, I lost my cards. I knew this probably wouldn't work. He says, "No, kid, that was kind of eccentric. How does that go again?" "Well, my hands are small. The leaves are big. This time I take away not 1 but 2 leaves. I snap my fingers. Miraculously, I still have 1, 2, 3 leaves." He jumps up, pumps his fist into the air and screams, "Right on, dude." In fact, everyone pump your fist in the air and scream, "Right on, dude." "Right on, dude." He says, "This gets better every time I see it." I go with it again. My hands were small. The leaves are big. This time I take away not 1, not 2 leaves. I take away a bunch of leaves. I snap my fingers. Miraculously, I still have 1, 2, 3 leaves. He jumps up, pumps his fist into the air and screams, "Right on, dude." That was great. Obviously, you guys have worked together before. My favorite time in school wasn't recess or lunch. It was show and tell. We could bring something of our own in to share with the class. And one week I worked a lot harder on a card trick than I worked on my homework. So it's my turn to show. I'm very excited. I'm pumped. I majestically take out my deck of cards. That's kind of my majestic thing. I hand them to a guy named Eddie, and I say, "Shuffle the deck." I can't really see what he's doing back there. But when I get the cards back from him, they are thoroughly mixed, face up and face down. What a mess. My trick is ruined. And Eddie knows it. And he turns to his friends and laughs. And the whole class is buzzing, and a couple of the kids are laughing. And I'm standing there just dying. Trying not to look at anyone. Trying not to look too stupid, you know? That day I learned you can't really die of embarrassment, but it can definitely feel like it can feel fatal. I was thinking about Eddie this morning, and Joshua, I'd like you to play the part of Eddie. If you could please call out the name of any card.
3 of hearts.
Watch very closely. The cards have straightened themselves out, except for one. I'm not saying it is the 3 of hearts, but if it were, do you think it would be a good trick?
It would be.
Thanks, Eddie.
Theater can sometimes mean more than just putting up a show. Virginia Avenue Project brings children growing up under difficult circumstances together with theater professionals to create original works. Let's take a look behind the scenes.
My name is Lee Curran, and I founded the Virginia Avenue Project because schools were falling apart, the arts were being marginalized, and children and adults were drifting further and further away from each other. At the Virginia Avenue Project, children work alongside caring adult mentors starting at age 6 and all the way through high school. And they participate in a variety of theater arts programs designed to give them learning and life skills in a safe place where all ages have something to teach and something to learn.
My experiment!
Success!
I've been in the Virginia Avenue Project for 8 years now, and I keep coming back because it's just an awesome place to be. You learn a lot of things about discipline and focusing.
Julian had a bit of a reputation when I first started working with him, but I was gravely disappointed because he worked very well with me, was very disciplined, was very open to taking direction, and was able to just channel the maniac right to when we needed it.
Listen to me! I'm not normal!
I joined the project when I was 5, so it was at a really difficult time like with going through a lot of family stuff, so it was just like a community that was like home, that wouldn't just fall apart, and it was comforting. It was a good place to be, so I wouldn't be anything like I am today.
I love everything about these guys. With us now is the founder of Virginia Avenue Project, Lee Curran. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, and you look delightful. so how'd you come to create this wonderful project?
Well, I was working with the 52nd Street Project in New York, where I was living at the time. And I really felt that my life as an artist was way too narrow, and that I wanted to do something more with my life. And I loved the work I was doing with the project. And I asked the artistic director, said I was thinking of moving to LA, and could I start a kind of sister project of it out in LA? And they gave me their blessings, and I came out here, and I have to say, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know if I liked kids all that much, you know, and I was pretty sure they didn't like me. But I really believed in the work and the transformative power of the work, because I'd been doing it at 52nd Street. And yeah, then I absolutely learned from kids about them, and they learned from adults about adults, and, you know.
What have you learned about you from these young people?
Well, that's a really good question.
You're welcome.
I've learned about patience.
Oh, yeah,
I've also learned that I'm actually pretty good with kids. I didn't think I was, you know, because I didn't have kids of my own. And I was a little terrified of them. I sort of felt that they could see right through me, but then I realized I can see through them too. So, you know, we're all equal.
Right. And, you know, and they can see through you.
And they can see through you. They can.
Any horror stories of working with young people?
Well, I mean, yes and no. Yes, of course. Yeah. You know, there's teenage angst. We work with all ages all mixed up. So you can have a 6-year-old and a 15-year-old in the same class.
Right.
And our
How
kids,
is that? How does that work out?
Well, we have adult mentors in all of the classes, so that in a playwriting class, for example, you could have an 8-year-old and an 18-year-old, and you have adults working with the kids, so each kid can move at their natural pace, not at a sort of structured pace that the class is set at, and it works very well. And what happens is the company kind of raises itself, so the little kids know that they're going to be junior counselors, and you know, they're going to help out in a more responsible way as they get older, and the older kids become role models for the younger kids, and you know, it just works. And then there's always an adult presence in everything that we do. That was another reason I started the project, because I really could see there was a kind of a gulf between kids and adults, and you know, starting with our generation, actually, because we got all carried away with how wonderful we were. And then, you know, and that hasn't changed, really.
Yeah, it really hasn't. So everyone's kind of growing together.
Everyone's growing together. That's the idea. And I sort of thought, for myself, well, if I can just be myself, warts and all, then the kids can be themselves, warts and all. We'll all be equals, and we start getting to know each other from there. And that's kind of how that was my philosophy when I started the project, and it worked.
What kind of themes have they come up with?
Oh, well, actually, I come up with the themes I was the artistic director up until this year, and I come up with the themes. Dreaming It Up was one, so we do an evening of 8 short plays, and each play had to have a dream in it of some sort. There's a play that we're opening at the Miles Playhouse on the 22nd of November, and it's called In the Bag. And this is a series of 6 plays written by kids in our advanced playwriting program. And each play has to have something coming out of a bag, or that might be in a bag in it. And that's also in collaboration with the Santa Monica Youth Orchestra, which we're really excited about. So, yeah. So, you know, the themes are all different depending on the needs of, you know, last year we turned 20, so the theme was 20-something, and every play had to have 20 of something in it.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you're a writer and a performer and a director and a teacher.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite, or do you find that they all funnel into and support each other?
That's interesting. I think probably first and foremost, I'm a writer, a creative writer, and everything kind of sprang out of that. But if I look back at my life, I've been writing since I was really small. That's been my main outlet. But I love the most is performing what I write.
And what's Buzz Magazine?
Oh, that's a magazine that comes out of our tutoring program, because we have a tutoring program for our kids who are struggling in school, or our kids who want to get into college and want to kind of up the stakes for themselves. And at the end of the year, we produce a magazine that has the work in it that the kids and their adult tutors have been doing together all year. So the program is about homework, but it's also about creative writing. It can be about poetry, it can be about art, it can be, so there's always a creative element in tutoring, and the idea is to make learning fun again for kids who are not having fun.
Learning is fun? Again, I don't understand. I feel like when I was a kid, learning was punishment. So.
How does somebody get involved, either as a mentor or as a student in the Virginia Avenue Project?
Well, you would call our office. I can give the number if you want or not.
Yeah, give the number.
310-264-4224. And you can speak to Lori Latham, who's our artistic director now, if you have a child that you're interested in getting into the program, or to Kent Wallace-Meggs, who's our executive director, if you want to be a volunteer kind of behind the scenes. If you want to volunteer as an artist, again, you talk to Lori also. So.
Now, how do you screen mentors? Like, I'm always afraid of crazy people ending up working with children.
Yeah.
That's what happens. How do you?
Well, all of our mentors have to be fingerprinted.
Okay.
And our youth center is the Santa Monica Police Activities League, so we do all of our teaching there.
The police are right there. So you're.
No, everybody does have to be screened.
Right.
But you also find, I think, that if your heart is in the right place, the majority of the people that you'll attract are people whose hearts are in the right place. And we have a lot of fun, but we're also very disciplined.
Right.
And I think that kids who like that combination will last in the program, and same with mentors. Right. People who just want to kind of mess around or be seen, think they're going to get an agent, they very quickly find out that's not what we're about.
You use the word transformative.
Yeah.
So you will have watched these kids grow. How does it affect their lives? What does it do?
Well, what I love about our alumni is seeing the choices that they're making. And a lot of them are going into the helping professions. A lot of them are going into teaching, into social services, into politics even. And a lot of what they say is, we want to give back the way we were given to. And so that's really the basic impact, that we're not teaching our kids to be artists. I would think that would be kind of fundamentally irresponsible on our part.
Because if you're an artist, you stay broke forever.
Forever, exactly. And a lot of them are broke already. So, why perpetuate that? But yeah. So I hope I answered your question.
We got you out of here soon, but you also work in improv,
Yes.
and can you give us some improv tricks before you get out of here?
Oh, always say yes and
No
add
period.
something.
Got it.
Never say no.
Give us an example, like maybe a game that you.
Like an improv game is so I would say, I'm going downtown to buy some cigarettes, and then you as the person I would work with would say yes, and
cigarettes are bad for you.
And cigarettes, and I would say yes, but I love destroying myself.
And then
you would say yes, so you
and
keep building on what the other person's saying. You never say no.
Okay.
And the other rule in improvising is you never get to shoot anybody on stage, because that just ends the improv.
Okay, let's go. So go ahead, try it again. So do it again. Go.
So I am going to read this magazine about beauty in America.
Yes, and beauty in America is corrupt.
Yes, and I love corruption.
Yes, and corruption is. I'm bad at this. I'm bad.
Corruption is the name of a wonderful new lipstick that I've heard.
Oh, Evelyn.
Yes, and I've heard that it makes your lips vibrate.
Yes, and I've heard that when your lips vibrate, everybody wants to kiss you.
Yes.
And there's the corrupting element.
Oh, we're back to corruption. Oh, no.
Oh, this has been really fun.
Oh, well, thank you.
Really awesome.
And you're good at improv. Apparently, I suck
terrible.
at it. Well, Lee, thanks for being with us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
You're amazing, and the scarf is beautiful. And
This is another piece of art.
Bought that recently, I heard. But thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay, thank you so much.
Stick around. Evelyn and I will be right back for more Santa Monica on Stage. We saw magic, and he knew the card that I had in my head, And I'm afraid of what happened on our show today.
You said you've never seen a magic show
I've never
before.
seen one, and that was kind of my first time being a part of a magic anything.
Cool, so you'll have to go to Magicopolis.
Every
They're
day
awesome.
for the rest of my life now.
And Lee was really awesome too. What a fascinating woman. The mentoring that she does, I know that you are interested in mentoring as well.
We
How
do
you
mentoring
that?
at Downbeat 720 through at the Miles Playhouse, where her play's going to be. And I've been working with kids for over 14 years, and I just believe that they are the future.
They definitely are. Well, this is once again my least favorite part. Time to wrap up another show.
No. Yes.
We have to.
No.
Joshua, we have to. Every week, we're learning so much about the arts groups that make Santa Monica's cultural world so rich.
Join us next time as we introduce you to a few more of our friends here at Santa Monica On Stage.